Hello children, our topic for the day is paragraph writing. Paragraph writing is the basic unit for a writing section. When we want to put in our thoughts, we need to jot down certain things. We need to write them down. And when do we write them down? When we have certain thoughts accumulated, collected in our minds, and that has to be put down on paper and pen. Now the best part and the first part, the basic part of that writing section where you need to put down your ideas and your thoughts, the first thing that you do is a sentence, right? You jot down your idea, your concepts or whatever comes to your mind in a sentence form. Now when those same thought kind of sentences, the sentences which contain the same kind of thoughts are put together, that is said to be a paragraph. Paragraph is something that you write on a topic. So you need a few sentences and you accumulate them and put them together in a paragraph. I'll quickly tell you what are the key points for writing a good paragraph. I'll be giving you certain hints also to how to go about with good writing paragraphs. I'll be giving you maybe one sample also. I'll give you an idea how to do it. But before that, let me have a treat for you all, right? Let's begin. Now, the treat for you all. This is a burger, right? You can get to see the two layers of the burger right on top, right on the at the bottom. Let's call it the bun area or the top bun. This is your top bun and this is your bottom bun. This is your bottom bun. Okay. Now, what do we have in the burger? That absolutely depends on the flavors we like to eat, isn't it? Okay. You have a little tomato in between. You get to see the tomato here. Let me pick up another color and add that tomato for you. This red one is a tomato for you. Yet another layer of tomato there, right? The one in red that you can see. Furthermore, we have some kind of a cutlet in between or some kind of a patty, whatever you call it. Let me call it cutlet 1, and this is a cutlet 2. Well, it's a patty, kind of a flat layer of maybe vegetables or any kind of stuff that you want your burger specially to be of. Further, we have a layer of cheese in between. That extra cheese, at times we go in for it. Right. So, this is the entire burger treat that we have. Apart from all this, we have a little bit of seasonings and the certain different ketchups and sauces, different kinds of flavors that we want. They are all in here. Now, why am I giving you a treat right now when we are studying or when we are trying to understand what a paragraph is? Why a burger in between? Well, this is basically to make you understand what a burger does to a paragraph. Well, of course, when you are eating a burger, you're not eating a paragraph. So when you're writing a paragraph, you're not eating the burger. Let's not get confused into all that. But the connection that I'm trying to put in is our paragraph has to be created or made beautifully like a burger. How? Let's see the connection. The topmost buns there are like the top bun is our heading of the paragraph. I'm just writing para so that it's faster for you to jot down. Now, the first top bun is the heading of the para, and of course the bottom bun there or the one at the end is obviously going to be your concluding part of the paragraph. Concluding line of the paragraph, right? Now, what are these things in between? The seasoning, the cutlet, the sauce, and the different flavored sauce, and the different kind of seasonings which are put inside that. Let's take the cutlet to be, well, this entire part is the body of the paragraph. This is the body of the paragraph, but further it has been divided like this one. Let's take the first cutlet as first idea of the paragraph, idea 1. This can be idea 2. And this, the cheese in between, is a good vocabulary. Right? So, if you think you're going to miss out one cutlet from there, well, it is a burger still, but then does it taste as good as 2 cutlets when there are 2 cutlets in it? Not that much, but it is a paragraph. So if you miss out one idea, it is a paragraph, but a more relevant, a more convenient, a beautiful, complete paragraph is the one which has a heading. A paragraph should have a heading. It should have a good concluding line. It has to be very strong, something that is said. Idea 1, in that it has to be all related. These sentences that we put in the paragraph, the body that we make of the paragraph, has to be related to the topic that is being talked about. Suppose you're talking about a dog. Your paragraph, write a paragraph on a dog. So whatever your heading related to the dog is, your ideas, your concepts in all those sentences has to be, those sentences have to be related to the dog only. It cannot be something about a lion that you bring in between. No. A paragraph is a collection of one kind of thoughts. If you have another kind of thoughts, then you have to change your paragraph and then write. But one paragraph generally goes with one kind of a thought process. Right? This is the connection between a delicious, sumptuous burger and a paragraph. Right? Let's see further. Okay, now let's see what all should a paragraph have. First thing first, a paragraph should have a proper heading, right? It should have a proper topic to begin with, and it has to be, let me just put in the first thing, a proper topic. Okay, that is the first and the foremost thing that we need for a paragraph. If we do not have the topic, we cannot write about it. Okay. After when we've got the topic, when we've got the thought, what to write, what is the next thing that we require? A paragraph should answer it should answer questions like, a paragraph should answer questions like, why. It should answer something like why, how, or when. See, these are the things which obviously come up if you are talking about some topic. It can come up, it can answer certain questions. What are we talking about? Or how does this thing happen? How, when? Certain questions it does answer. Right? The next point which a paragraph should have are like the cutlets in the seasoning of the paragraph means the supporting, it should have the supporting sentences. Correct? This is something which is required once the heading is there, once the thought process, the ideas are already there. You need to present yourself in a better way. You need your supporting sentences for the same. Furthermore, it can prove or explain and describe. A paragraph can prove something or it can explain. Okay, it can prove, it can explain, it can also talk some details about something or describe. Okay, it can also describe about something further. These are the things which are required for a proper paragraph to go ahead. Okay, as we saw in the burger part of it, the more things we put in, the better it is for our writing or reading, right? Now, if you think that in a burger you add on a pizza in between and you add on something extra in between, will that be a burger then? Not really. So you have to limit yourself to what is just required when you need that paragraph. You cannot add on something unnecessary or something extra irrelevant kind of things into it. Okay, let's see further. What else do we need to know about a paragraph? Well, let me talk about the beginning, the bit in between, the body of that paragraph. In other words, we are talking about the basic structure of the paragraph. Right? Now we're talking about the basic structure of the paragraph. What do we have in the basic structure of the paragraph? First thing we have is the topic sentence. Right, now what is the topic sentence here, children? Well, topic sentence is obviously, it's understood, something related to your topic, something related to the heading. So you have to have a proper heading to your paragraph. Okay, suppose you are talking about something about an incident. So you can give a good, nice heading to that relevant topic about it. Okay, now it has a sentence of the body. It is the first sentence of the body. Topic sentence generally introduces that the thing that you're talking about in that part after your heading, right? It includes the topic and the first sentence about which we are talking about. So that is your topic sentence. Further, we come to the second part of the burger. When you saw the cutlets and the tomatoes, the seasoning, the ketchups and all those things, that was the body of the paragraph. Here we are calling it the supporting sentences that are required. The supporting sentences. Okay. Now, what kind of supporting sentences are they supposed to be? Well, they are supposed to be exactly related to the topic that we have picked up. It cannot be something irrelevant or outside the topic. Supporting sentences come immediately after the topic sentences. Okay, it's just after those that the first line. Obviously, in a paragraph we don't have numbering them. We are not going to number them. And a paragraph, a number of times we came across children writing essays, suppose, and they're numbering their paragraphs. You're not supposed to number the paragraphs. Let them be. How do you differentiate? A line is left maybe once you change your paragraph. So one paragraph, all sentences in one go only. You cannot leave a line in between a paragraph. Then you're changing your paragraph altogether. Okay? Okay. Now, what does this supporting sentence do? It elaborates on the topic that we are talking about. It elaborates on the topic means it is further talking about more about the topic sentence that we were talking about. Right? Suppose we are talking about a vacation spent somewhere. So that was the beginning part. You spoke about it. You wrote something that so and so place was so beautiful that you had visited. Now in the supporting sentences, a few sentences are going to be written on a little more about the vacation that you had spent, the place where you had gone, how had you gone, when had you gone, those details a little more in this. You have to see to it that you are using very good vocabulary and the correct grammar. If something has happened already, it's of course in the past tense that you will be writing. Okay? If something in future that is being planned to happen, then you can obviously write in the future tense. But generally, if you're talking about something which is already past, it is written in the past form. Right? Okay. Finally, of course, we have that bottom one or the concluding line. We have the concluding line or the concluding sentence. Right? Now, what is the speciality of a concluding sentence? First thing first, it is the last sentence of the paragraph, right? Generally, first the topic sentence, then the structure or the supporting sentences in between, and finally you have the concluding sentence. Now, the concluding sentence should precisely be compact, means small. It's not something very huge that you are putting in. It has to be something compact, small. And at the same time, at the end of the paragraph. at times what happens, if you're writing just a paragraph, fine, that's the concluding line, it talks about the topic and it finishes there. But if you are writing a further longer kind of an essay or something, and then you are told to write a paragraph, then your last concluding sentence has to be something in between that can relate to or connect to the next paragraph, right? Now, abruptly you finish something, that was the end of it, and then you start writing again, that's not done. So at times when you need to write further and you need to change your little thought process, then your concluding sentence has to be a connecting kind of a sentence. It finishes here, but somehow, in some way, it shows some kind of connection with your next paragraph. So that is another important part that concluding sentence performs, right? Quick basic structure, topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. Heading, the bottom structure line has to be very strong, and the body, the in between, the ideas and thoughts have to be very well thought about. Okay, the final and the last thing that we need to know about paragraphs, I'll give you quick good hints how to write a good paragraph. Okay, the first hint, it's just a name that I'm giving you, hints for writing a good paragraph, but these are just ideas for writing a good paragraph. The first and foremost thing that you require to write a strong paragraph is a strong heading, right? So the first point that we need to look into is that the main points are given of the subject, that your heading is precise, heading is a strong one which pulls in the people. But before that, before writing a paragraph, you have to have all the concepts or ideas that you want to put in rough somewhere. Just quickly jot down this point, I'd like to put this point, I'll put in, and maybe something about this also I'd like to put in. So you have your thoughts there. Now which is the correct one, which has to be on top, you'll put it accordingly. The next something describing that part of it, you'll put it next. So you can assemble. First thing is in here that you have to write in your mind, that you have to bring in your ideas and your thoughts. Okay. First heading is done, then you have to think about, you've got your concepts, you've got your ideas, then you have to give it a heading there, right? Now you have to develop those thoughts that you've got. Heading of the story. Before heading, in fact, I think I should put in the points. Let's say you can accumulate your thoughts. Or accumulate, you find the word difficult, let's say collect. Collect your thoughts. Okay, collect your thoughts. Then we have another thing is giving a heading, collecting our thoughts. Second thing is giving a heading which has to be very strong. Third, our supporting sentences, means we have to use good vocabulary and proper language and a proper grammatical language. Well, let me put this side. Proper grammatical language means something. What do we mean by proper grammatical language? If you're talking about some past tense, then you'll have to mention, you have to write your things, your process ideas in the past form of it. Something about the future that you're mentioning, then it has to be about the future format, right? Now, coming to your final and the fourth hint that you get is that your concluding sentence has to be very effective. Effective concluding sentence. If you have all these together in proper order, in good vocabulary, good thoughts, then I'm very sure you will be able to write wonderful paragraphs. One more thing which is very important and which is generally overlooked is that the word limit. If you are supposed to write, if it is mentioned, write in 80 to 100 words, then you have to stick to that. You will not cross your word limit of maybe 120 and 30. No. absolutely a no for that. 80 to 100, you have to stick to 80 to 100 word limit. You should have that controlling power over your writing processes, right? I hope by now you will be able to write very delicious paragraphs of your own. The wonderful, sumptuous burgers and beautiful paragraphs will be put forward by you all. Thank you.